What's going on, guys? Spencer Claeys here. I'm here with Inner Circle member Noah Leach. We're out here in northern Idaho. Beautiful Coeur d'Alene. As you guys can see, we got the lake here. Noah, how's it going, man?
It's going good, dude. Just, I can't complain with living in a place like this. Glad you're
Yeah.
out here checking out the Home and Garden Show this weekend. It's, great thing for the business and, doing well.
Yeah. So we just came from, the Northern Idaho Home and Garden Show, and you guys had a booth there, passing out flyers and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, because you guys do primarily roof and gutter cleaning, and what else do you guys do?
Yeah, I just do moss removal, roof gutter cleaning, roof and house soft washing, and then a big thing up here is the cedar shake roof. So I've been doing kind of a cedar shake restoration, and that's been really big. A lot of homes on other sides of the lake have the cedar, and it's kind of a niche up here. No one really wants to clean it, so I'm kind of trying to tap into that market.
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw some of your pictures. Like, that looks so nice. I mean, the
Yeah.
cedar one's out. Like, I know it's a lot of work for sure, but
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
people pay for it because it's, a lot of these houses, I mean, I don't know if you guys can see, but like, those are not cheap houses to live. So
Yeah, there's, multi-million-dollar homes, and these people, pay good money for these 40 to 50-year-old roofs that are going to last 40 to 50 years. So they'll pay big money to keep them clean and have that bright red cedar look, and
yeah, cedar's beautiful. So, but yeah, so Noah, like, you're one of the first guys that like really came into the Inner Circle and just kind of like took off. So why don't you tell us about like kind of before you hopped in, like how was life, and then like what happened like when you first got in and such.
Hey man, so I moved up here in June and just was doing digital marketing for a company out in Chicago and ended up getting laid off. And I had a kid, wife, and we just moved to a brand new place, didn't know anybody, and the severance package, is what it was, and just money was running out. And I'm like, you know what, I got bills to pay, family to feed, and I saw a bunch of your stuff back earlier in the year, and I just was kind of curious about it. And I was like, got to the point, and I'm like, job applications weren't coming through. I wasn't getting any interviews, and I was like, you know what, I just need to pivot gears. And saw you, making good money, and I'm like, hey, there's moss on roofs here. I can do that. So I reached out and joined the Inner Circle, and as soon as I joined, I bought all the stuff like the Husqvarna, 525 BX. Bought that. Bought the soft wash tank, and within I think 4 hours is when I got my first job from Facebook ads. And so I just
Crazy.
like, that was my career, was Facebook ads beforehand. So I knew the basic framework, but you kind of dialed in how to like truly sell to these people. And so that's kind of, I put together my first ad that followed that framework, and it just took off from there. And I had no I didn't have an option to fail. Like, I had family bills were coming up, rent was due, had to feed the wife and the kid, and so I had to make it work, and thankfully it did really well. So
Awesome. Yeah, I love that story, because so many people, like, they'll reach out to me, they're like, hey man, I'm thinking of doing this, like, do you have any tips for, I'm maybe gonna start out, I'm still working, I'm just like, it just doesn't hit as hard as like, hey, I'm doing this, I gotta make money.
Yeah.
And that's how I started. I was like, fuck, I need to make money tomorrow. I don't have the option of like, oh, I'm thinking about this. It's like, you have a kid to like feed now, you got a wife, and like, so that's crazy. So
it's like I was spending money I quite frankly didn't have. Like, bank account was down to
Yeah.
little money. It's like I paid, I think, half up front for you, and then I was buying the $300 leaf blower, bought the ladder, and I just strapped it on my existing car, and just my first job, I remember getting paid in cash, and I was like, yeah, this is a good feeling. It works. Like, I know I can do it, and just gave me the confidence to get going, and then the support from other people in the group too, of like cheering you on, and celebrating your wins was a huge part of I think my success early on. So
yeah, because you hit like, it was like 15K that first month.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah, 15K in August.
So.
Yeah, 15K in August, and had about 8K booked in September before September came. So that was just really cool feeling.
Yeah, and then you kind of dove headlong into like the Christmas lights, and now like you're doing like gutter guards, all sorts of stuff out here, and just really just kind of made like you're already part of like the business like association out here. It's like you really made some like huge leaps. It's crazy. You got the cool merch too.
I
got
got the hat merch. Yeah, no, I just wanted to set myself up as a professional company. I've noticed, especially people up here in North Idaho, really appreciate like professionalism, and joining the local North Idaho Builders Contractors Association, just getting plugged in with local builders, local roofing companies, and just building good relationships, because that just goes a long way, I've noticed up here, and people appreciate that. Like I run into clients at Costco. It's it's just keeping good terms with everybody you do business with, and you never know who you can run into up here. So
Yeah. No, that's awesome, dude. I mean, cause like we're both. I mean, like I'm building a family too, and we're both like family dudes. Like it's like so. Like talk to us a little bit more about like being able to like have your own schedule. We're getting some snow here, but this is what we do for the content for you guys. So,
North Idaho way, baby.
but talk to us a little more about like yeah, having like your own schedule, like being able to make like come home when you need to or work as long as you want. Like how's that been with your family?
Yeah, I mean, just it's been good not having to report to anybody. Like just doing, like obviously my son's pretty young, so I'm just in this. Early on, I just was in a pretty grind stage. Just I had to get jobs, I had to grind to pay the bills. But like, towards the second half of December, obviously, slowed down with Christmas lights, and we went back to Chicago, where my family's from, for Christmas, and most of January we just hiked around. Like I didn't have jobs, so I just spent time with the family. We, walked around downtown. We hiked here over in Tubbs Hill, and we just enjoyed time together. Like we slept in,
Yeah,
slept in, just hung out at home. We had a spell where we hit, I think, negative 15 or 20, and so we
yeah,
just hunkered
it's
around at home
crazy.
and cooked dinner, and yeah, just having that flexibility to like not have to worry about a job, that I had to report to. I could just spend time with my wife and family at home and not worry about that. And that flexibility was great. And then now as we're getting busier again, but I went snowboarding 2 days ago, and it's like I didn't have to ask anybody for permission. Didn't
Yeah,
have to like put in PTO 3 weeks ago. I just got up, did it, came back down, and it was just perks of being a business owner.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, your boss is a pretty cool guy, so it's like, oh, let me talk to him.
yeah,
No, that's awesome, dude. That's like, yeah, for me too. It's like, I've often said like, even if I made somehow less money, I mean, we both had some jobs where it's like, I don't know about you, I was not making that much money in some of my jobs. So
yeah,
for me, it
yeah.
wasn't even like that much of a leap. It's like, okay, well, I'm either gonna make 15 bucks an hour at this shitty place, or I'm gonna probably make more if I do my own thing.
Yeah, my
So
first job out of college was making 13.50, like doing Google ads. Like it was kind of a glorified, like just sweatshop with
yeah,
MacBooks. Like that's
yeah,
what we joked about, but that's what it was. Just overworked, underpaid, but I thought it was cool. Like, oh, we got the keg on tap, we got the fancy MacBooks, but like when you get down to it, I just was like I had to show up before sunrise, stay late, like first one there, last one to leave, just because I don't know, there's this weird cultural thing where in order to like progress in corporate America, you have to like grind out,
kill
kill
yourself.
yourself. Yeah,
Like,
50,
get
60
out.
hours a week. And it's like, not like, yeah, being a business owner, sure you have to work 7 days a week, but you just have more flexibility. Like you don't have to report to anybody. It's just,
Yeah, it's when you want to work, and then you find like when you actually like doing it, because like I don't know what you I actually genuinely like doing roofs like too. I'm
same. It's
getting out of
fun.
it a little bit, but it's like, and you're talking to your customers, you're making the house look beautiful. They fucking love it.
Yeah,
Like that's cool.
and yeah, like for me, I mean, I'm super pale and I don't tan, but like this was the first summer I kind of got a little bit of a tan. So it was,
Getting this guy outside.
yeah,
So
yeah, no, outside, like I don't know, you just feel better. You
yeah,
feel
you feel
healthier.
better. You sleep better. Like your
Oh yeah,
circadian rhythm. Like it's crazy. I never have a problem sleeping.
yeah.
I love working my hands. It's something feels good about
Yeah,
it
like you have
too.
that, man hands. It's like when you shake
So
someone's hand, like
they can tell you
it's, yeah,
work.
they can
Yeah,
tell you work. Yeah,
especially out here in Idaho, they're judging you for
yeah.
sure
I
if
was
you're
like,
not.
yeah, Idaho's a very blue, North Idaho's a very blue collar part of town, and people respect the hustle and the hard work. And when you show up to get lunch and you're dirty, like I don't know, it's something about that people like. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, speaking of that, we'll pivot a little bit to like people who, because we talked about this, like there was like a mutual acquaintance that was like a fellow business owner, but he'd just talking crap online. Like, so what would you say about anyone who's like thinks of like, oh, competition? Because we were just talking to guys at the Home and Garden show. They're quote unquote competitors, but it's like I was driving here, I saw almost every other house had moss and stuff. It's like there's so much work. What's your opinion on like the whole competition and stuff?
yeah. It's like I don't worry about that because like I'm in my lane doing my thing. I've got my customers, I've my business, and I do business how I want to do it, and like if someone's being petty and trying to come after me, it's just like, I don't. That's just kind of weird. It's like there's so much work to go around. I don't need to deal with that. But I like competition who actually comes and reach out to me when I want to build relationships because like there's certain services I don't do and certain services they
Yeah,
don't do, and why not share and refer work? Or if say I get this huge job and I don't have the capacity to do it, it'd be great to work with them. Or it's like, we're all here to progress in our businesses. Like I don't need to be weird about it. It's just we're all here to clean roofs and make people happy. So just
yeah.
yeah,
A rising tide floats all boats. So it's
yeah,
like that never really like made sense to me. Like I don't know, the whole competition thing. Like obviously there are people that they'll clean the roof for $20, and it's like, but it's like, that's not your competition really. Like that's for, I mean, you could go buy a Corolla right now, or you could buy a nice truck. It's like there's different markets for everybody. So
yeah, and same with like again with customers, like certain people, they only care about price, and I'm like, I tell people, I'm like, I know I'm not the cheapest, but I also know I'm not the most expensive. Like it's like,
yeah,
but if you're looking for just the cheapest, like you're not my ideal customer. Like,
yeah,
and oftentimes I found the cheapest people tend to be the most nitpicky. They're like,
it's crazy.
they're like, oh, you left one pine needle like on the roof. Like,
I'm
all
like,
right,
bro.
yeah, it's like I worked out here for hours. It's like I did so it's funny how sometimes people are, but
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. So, yeah, I mean, so yeah, this is nice. So, I mean, things are finally starting to. I mean, for us too, even over in Seattle, it's a little bit different climate. It's just more wet, but
yeah.
it's finally picking back up. We've finally had some big weeks because you take a couple months off for sure. But I mean, some businesses are seasonal too. Like the corporate America, you're working 50 weeks a year.
Yeah.
But that's just not natural too. I don't know. Like, I mean, this is how our great grandfathers were out working outside, and they're not working every week of the year.
Yeah,
so.
my great grandfather was he came from West Virginia out to Denver and had a ranch, and yeah, he worked for like Lockheed Martin doing rocket stuff, but like him and his buddies would take their horses and just go for weeks out in the mountains in Colorado and just backpack. That's like some man stuff. Like
Yeah.
like they'd take the horses and just go backpack. They'd go fly fish. They'd hunt. They'd whatever. Like that's what they did. Like and like but here you get tech bros or whatever, and they're working 80 hours a week just for like what? It's just there's more to life than just work. It's
Yeah.
you like I don't live to work. I work to live. So
Exactly.
or yeah, I think that's how I said. But
You be both. I mean, you've done some traveling too, like with your church and stuff, and like just seeing other parts of the world too. It's really cool. Like when we go to Mexico, we'll see, one guy that just sells freaking like fruit, and as soon as he sells enough fruit, he goes home for the day.
Yeah.
It's like this whole idea that we need to work all the time and make, frankly, someone else rich too. Like is another thing. Like we're making as much money to survive with our families, and I mean, obviously more. We're adding people, we're hiring people and stuff, and helping them pay, like have families as well too. But
yeah, no, it's when I went to China. Yeah, there's this right by the hotel we were staying at the corner. There's this guy who was selling dumplings, and the hotel breakfast was such crap. Like we didn't want it, and so he's like this older Chinese guy, and my buddies and I we nicknamed him Gramps. And so we'd say, hey, we're like the girls would eat from the school, they'd go eat at the hotel because they want to spend money. But yeah, we're like we're gonna go support Gramps, and so because I went to the same place two separate years. When I came back the second year, this guy was still there. And so I used like Google Translate on my phone, and I told him, I was like, hey man, you have like the best dumplings in all of Beijing. And like he teared up. Like it just but he just
pride in his work.
Yeah,
man.
like
that's cool.
Yeah, he was out there hustling. He like made good dumplings and good soup and these like bread things, but yeah, he just out in their corner, and then when he would sell out, he went home. So it just so
Yeah, it's like when you have a good product, like you're not. That's back to the competition. Like you're not worried about competition. Like I know I have a good ass product.
Yeah.
So I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'm not worried about someone else like stealing my people. It's like you can't steal people that fuck with me and our stuff. So believing in the stuff you do too is huge.
Yeah, it's like I believe in the way I do the business and how like I treat my customers, and I'd rather have people choose me because of the way I do business. Like probably like you, it's like you got lots of good reviews, lots of customer reviews, and people choose you because they know you, and like they believe in your business, and they get to meet you. So yeah,
that's just something that's like I'm so glad that's never gonna go away, because I feel like so many companies like they get big and then they go public and then they just go downhill. Like we can think of so many, and so people are always then the cycle continues. People want to do business with the small businesses until they eventually get big, and then it kind of goes. But no, it's interesting. So. As far as because I know you've also met up with and chatted with some other guys in the group, like if anyone's like on the fence about starting their own business or joining the inner circle, or like what would you say to them if they're in the spot that you were in like last year?
Yeah, I mean don't get me wrong, it's definitely scary when you at least in my scenario, I didn't really have much money and it was a huge leap of faith. But if you're a young guy and like you don't know what you want to do with your life, like I don't know, give it a try. Like the worst you can do is say you tried. It's like, but also I think I saw something with Anthony. He's also in the inner circle. He said, he's like, yeah, like obviously, it costs money to get in, but it's like, if don't do it unless you're like ready, because like you have all the resources, but like that only that gets you the framework, but like you still have to have the drive to want to be successful.
Yeah.
So if like you're a young guy and you want to like get after it, but like you just are missing like certain framework pieces to then become successful, it's perfect for you. And then it's being around guys who want to win, like Berg up in Canada, he's super, like him and I are
You guys
having
are pushing each other.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, him and I are having a fun little thing so you can get the most this year. And the other guys like just a lot of good guys who want to win, and we celebrate each other's wins. And it's like if someone's doing something good, like they share it. And if
Yeah, share
it's just
content, reviews, everything.
yeah,
like,
share
it's cool.
content, reviews, and it's just great to be a part of winners, because it's like it's a unique mindset to be a business owner, and being you can often feel isolated, because a lot of my other friends they just work jobs, and it's I'm still good friends, and it is what it is, but like there's a different framework when you own your own business owner, like you take on other responsibilities.
You think differently, and you can't
Yeah.
really have those same conversations. Like we couldn't be talking like as soon as we met, we're just like instantly just like we have so much to talk about. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, from anything with the business or family, or it's just we just have the same, very similar mindset. So that's really cool, and yeah, it's cool to be around other guys.
Yeah, it's it's like what used to take me weeks to make, I've made in a day. It's just, it's crazy,
Yeah.
or like hours even. It's just your whole mindset changes.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So, well, is there anything else that you want to say to the camera, or just like I think we pretty much covered everything. Family, business,
Yeah.
life. I mean, yeah, we're gonna go get some barbecue after this or something.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Just enjoy dinner in Coeur d'Alene, but no, it's just I mean, if join the inner circle, it's great. Spencer's killing it. Super humble guy, and
Only if you're, like you said, only if you're ready. Cause
only if
like,
you're,
we're not. That's another thing too. I kind of just recently tweaked. We're not no one who's just starting. Because no offense, it's just like if you haven't done your first job yet, probably not for you. Because like we want to work with people who are already like getting after. Because like we'd said, some people will come to like, oh, I'm thinking about starting my business, and yeah, it's not for you if that's your type of vibe.
Yeah, and it's like you want to have some common sense. Like there's certain things. It's like you can easily Google like what brush head to use, or like obviously like if you're in the group, some ask people questions like that, but like most of it's like, oh, like how do I respond to a customer in this scenario, or like how do I
ask that, and
or it's like how do I get to this, and it's
like, dude, like just this is exactly what I would do. It's not that hard. I remember we had talked about that yesterday too. You're like, because you actually went through the whole course. Because it's funny, I can see like who goes to the course. And, like, most people don't. Like, and it's like, and then they're the ones asking me questions. I'm like, bro, like this all answered. Like, I mean, I'll answer it, but it's like a little bit of common sense, just like use your noodle. I mean, you're really good about that. Like, you've been awesome. Super contributed.
I mean,
like so.
Yeah, before I did my first job, I watched all the videos, like cruised through the whole YouTube, read the book to like, because I was like, I don't want to be like the guy asking the dumb question in the group. I wanted to have knowledge of what I was doing, and then if it's like I got stuck at a certain point, then I could,
it's fine. Like, but yeah, obviously do what you can, and then learn as much as you can. But then you're never gonna know everything. Like, you didn't know that cedar shake was gonna be a thing until
that was my first. Yeah, someone reached out and they're like, "Hey, can you clean it?" I just said yes, and I had no idea what I was doing.
Being a yes man too, that's really important in the beginning too.
Yeah.
I love that mentality, because like, I mean, I've had people ask like, "Hey, can you get this drone out of this tree?" And I'm like, sure. And so, I mean, fuck it. Like, we making just hustling, and then he'll refer me to other stuff. And I mean, at least in the beginning, being yes man is important. Then once you're a little bit more busy, it's like you can't be doing like I was doing side projects, and I built a shed once, and like that was ended up being way too much work.
I know, definitely early on said yes too much, but like now I've kind of
learn.
Yeah, it's like now I've honed in on my core services and where I can truly like, and that's part of joining another network and knowing other business owners, because like if people ask me do I paint, I was like, no, I don't paint, but like but now I like to like, oh, I know someone who paints, or like I know someone who can install gutters, or I know someone who can repair a roof. Like, I'm not going to take on all this stuff I don't know about. Like, I'll focus on the core services and then build relationships to outsource from there. So
yeah, sweet guys. Well, thanks for coming on, Noah.
I appreciate it, man.
Freezing our nuts up out here.
It's a little cold.
See the snow, but yeah, let me know what you guys thought in the comments. If you have any other questions for Noah, and I will see you guys in the next video. Obviously, application is below. Let's get after it. Let's go.
Thanks for tuning in to the Spencer Claeys Show. That's all for now. See you in the next episode. Peace.